Hey guys, it's Alex, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you my 5 favorite books you should read if you're teaching yourself how to be a copywriter. Okay, so you're considering getting into this whole copywriting business. Well, here is where you should start. Now, this list is not the latest and greatest, nor is it exhaustive. There are so many incredible resources out there for those looking to learn how to do online marketing, copywriting, branding, all of the above. But these books that I'm about to share with you are my copywriting Bibles, and I have referred to them again and again and again since starting my business back in 2011. Now, you might be surprised to discover that most of these books have actually very little to do with the formulaic process of copywriting. Most are about psychology, and that is because deeply understanding what makes us as humans tick or click is absolutely fundamental to becoming a good copywriter. So all the steps, the how-tos, the formulas, and all that, you can just come right back here to my YouTube channel because I'm gonna be sharing that in future videos. And let's be honest, that's way more fun than reading a book anyway. So if you're considering starting a copywriting business, or if you wanna learn how to scale your existing business through copywriting, make sure to hit subscribe for a ton of videos coming your way. But for today, here are the 5 books that you should read immediately. So the first book, Robert Cialdini's Influence. Now, this is actually the very first book that I read when I got into internet marketing back in 2008 during my time working at Mindvalley. Now, this book is probably the book that I refer to more than any book out there, any marketing book out there. In fact, he has a sequel out now called Persuasion rather than The Psychology of Persuasion, and I highly recommend you get a copy of that too. But essentially in this book, Cialdini shares the 6 shortcuts that guide human behavior. Okay, so they are scarcity, authority, consistency, likability, consensus, or social proof, and reciprocity. Now, I have those 6 shortcuts written out in a document, and I refer to it after I write a piece of sales copy to make sure that includes all of these shortcuts as a checklist. It's absolutely killer. This book is amazing. This should be the very first book that you get your hands on. Now, the next book that I want to recommend is called The Wizard of Ads: Turning Words into Magic and Dreamers into Millionaires. This book is written by advertising legend Roy H. Williams. If you've never heard of this guy, you will, because he is truly a powerhouse in the advertising world and is the guy behind a lot of wildly successful advertising campaigns. I first met Roy actually while I was down at his campus outside of Austin, Texas. It is called the Wizards Academy, and if that doesn't excite you, it's like the Hogwarts of the marketing world. This place is absolutely incredible. He hosts private workshops for marketers and entrepreneurs, programs that you can sign up for. So if you're lucky enough to score a seat at one of his workshops, I highly recommend you do. He also has a podcast that is honestly such a hidden gem. It's probably one of the most ghetto podcasts in its branding because it has no branding. There is literally no album artwork. It's like the gray podcast symbol, but it's called Wizard of Ads, and every single Monday, Roy releases a 5 to 10 minute episode, and every single one is pure gold. If I'm writing a sales page and I'm really, scrounging my brain looking for a hook, I'll listen to, 2 to 3 of his episodes, and it just gets my creative gears turning. So highly recommend you listen to that podcast, and this book especially. It's about the 7 universal laws of advertising, and he really dives deep into, again, human behavior, what makes people click. Get your hands on this. Okay, now the third book I want to recommend, I actually don't have a hard copy of because they are extremely rare. I was just looking on Amazon before making this video, and I think there was one hard copy of it for sale for over $400. I was gifted a PDF version of this book. It's 239 pages. It is Eugene Schwartz's Breakthrough Advertising. We'll put it up right here so you know what it looks like. This book is a copywriting classic and probably one of the most profitable books on copywriting and marketing ever written. What really stands out for me, or what stood out for me in that book, is the theory of product evolution and market saturation. It's a textbook. It's a heavy one to dive into, but at the very least, go grab yourself a digital copy and skim through it and read the sections that really stand out to you. I saw some digital copies, I think, on Amazon for around $20, so you should be able to get your hands on it fairly easily. Now, the last two books, I'm so bummed. Right before I started recording this video, I was looking for them and they're nowhere to be found, which means I probably lent them out to one of you marketing friends of mine. So if you have them, give them back, please. But the fourth book is Dan Ariely's Predictably Irrational. Again, this book is one of the first books that I read back when I got into internet marketing and copywriting. And it, again, talks about the hidden forces that guide human decisions. All psychology, brilliant. It references a ton of cool studies and statistics on why people act the way they act and why people buy the way they buy. One concept that really stood out for me in that book is the concept of decoy pricing. It has now become a staple in almost all of my sales letters or offers that I create. So definitely get your hands on Predictably Irrational. And lastly, the fifth book I want to recommend is called Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. Literally, it is titled The Last Book on Screenplay Writing You'll Ever Have to Read. My good friend Perry Belcher, who's a marketing legend, amazing copywriter, recommended this book to me and the rest of the members of my Flight Club mastermind. And you probably already guessed it, it's actually not about copywriting, it is about screenplay writing. But I'll tell you a little secret. A good copywriter is a great storyteller. So this lateral wisdom of screenplay writing to copywriting is insanely valuable. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my top 5 books that you should read immediately if you want to learn how to become a copywriter. If you're planning to read any of these books, just throw me a like down below. And I want to hear from you. Do you have a favorite marketing or copywriting book? Comment below, let me know what it is, and if I choose your book to read next, I'll be sure to send you a thank you in my next video. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Alex. Ciao for now.